Thursday Lucha Libre show, though. I think that's cool as shit. Not too often independent pro wrestling shows run on Thursdays. But Toronto's a big enough system to support it, and there's enough Canadian wrestling fans, especially Impact fans, that this is actually happening. So they're doing House of Glory, Amazing Reds company, right? From TNA alumni, against their own homegrown talent. And I'm getting to wrestle Artemis, who's a really, really talented young kid. And I think a lot of people, when they see luchadors, they think high flyer, death defying, and they're partially right. But Lucha Libre has such a classic pro wrestling history. It's very similar to the old World of Sport British style. And that's what I'm most excited about, is to wrestle somebody like that, because it's been years since I've been able to do what they call Lucha Libre Classica. For me, this will be show 1 out of 4. Wrestle today, wrestle tomorrow, seminar Saturday, autograph Saturday, pay-per-view Sunday, TV tapings Monday, drive back through the middle of the night, Wednesday, Thursday off, then fly out to Portland to Iowa for Sami Callihan, Iowa back to Detroit, and then 3 shows the week after that. I thought, like, when I quit PT, I would have more free time, and I do, but I also fill that with more obligations. And then D'Lo Brown came up to me after I won the belt. He goes, "You thought you were working hard before, just wait." And I was like, oh shit, what does that mean? I just wrestled Tanahashi on Sunday. He came out of that and he told me it was fun. I was in Paparazzi Productions in 2006 and 7. That was when Tana first showed up, and they're like, "Yeah, this is the future of New Japan." He wrestled AJ, and I remember seeing it and thinking, like, this guy's fucking awesome. And I'd seen him before a little bit, but that was the first time I saw something right in front of me. To go from, at least if I'm being totally transparent, one of my childhood heroes, Kevin Nash, taking me under his wing then, if you'd have pulled me aside and said, "Hey, look, dude, 5 years from now, Kevin's going to be gone. You're not going to be here. You're going to be in New Japan, and that guy's going to be taking care of you. And then 10 years after that, you're going to be world champion of this company. He's going to be a shoo-in Hall of Famer, and you're going to beat him in the ECW arena." I'd say, get the fuck out of my face. No way. Speaking to you, like, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about this. When I went to New Japan in 2012, he was the guy, and he was rebuilding that company. There were other players in place, but it was Tana who I was closest with because he was a good guy, and I sat in the back of the bus next to him. It seemed that he did all these things, and then made time for the gym, and then made time to get the ring and practice, and then helped train the young boys, and then went home to his family, and then took care of me and Fergal Devitt and Tama Tonga and Machine Gun Anderson. It's like, oh my God. And his joke, now it's a joke, right? I'm never tired. It's like, obviously a lie, because how could you not be? Everybody gets tired at some point, but his work ethic doesn't get tired. So he's my muse, man. That's why that match in the ACW arena, or 2300 arena, meant so much to me, because it was really me trying to impress somebody ultimately. So many people ask me, how does it feel to be champion? Or have you been able to just kind of concentrate on how far you come? This is me, personally. This is Patrick speaking, but I don't think about it that much, and I try not to, because it's done. This is how I deal with it. This is how I deal with the pressures and the pleasures of it. Take a minute, be present, realize you just wrestled one of your heroes, or somebody who looked after you for years when you were in New Japan, and you hung with him. That's really cool. What do you have to do next? Well, tonight it's Artemis. That's it. I think that's like the best way to look at life, right? Otherwise, you get too far ahead of yourself. You're spending energy on things that might not happen. Ultimately. It was a good match. We probably went 20. He's awesome, man. Like, if he's only 24, that's really good. He's already working all the better independent shows in the States, too. He probably would have been a guy that maybe Ring of Honor would have brought in if he was a AAA guy. Yeah, he's really good. One down, 4 days of work to go. A lot of people say I train with Shelley or he's helped me so much, but like I tell them, at least the ones I'm really intimate with, which would be your Nick Waynes or Jordan Albers or Masha or Yuya or Jason Hodge, Alan Angels, like all these guys that I wrestle with who are in their 20s, you guys help me just as much, right? So for me, what I like about wrestling younger guys especially is hearing the ticks and nuances and like kind of the beats that they like to use as offensive weapons or how they like to do things and adapting to that. To me, probably the best trait a wrestler like myself could have, who's not a huge man by any stretch and has been doing this a long time, is versatility. The best resource is being resourceful, right? So every time I'm in there with somebody like him, somebody who's really, really good and gifted, if I can pick up one or two things and kind of just suck those away and put them in the back of my mind, it's like, oh wow, that was really cool how he did that. Like, I've never seen that before, I've never experienced that before, but man, you do that and you have 100 matches a year. If you take one thing from each match, that compounds after a time. It's like interest. So it's as much educational for me as it might be for them. And on top of that, a lot of people say, well, you and Saban, and Kushida would be in the store too. It's like you guys don't age. It's like, well, it's not that we don't age. It's just that we're in different roles now. So we can still wrestle at a very, very high level. But I always believe in going left if they're looking right. And I always have, right? It's like doing something different than what's being done because pro wrestlers are products like anybody else. Like, what can you bring to the table? It's not the same, right? And for me, a lot of times that's being adaptable. Which, if I'm going to break the fourth wall, he said go out there and cut a babyface promo after the match. Like, dude, they were fucking on my shit from the word go. It's like, there ain't no chance. That's fucking heavy. Also, if I were coming to a pro wrestling show on a Thursday night, I really don't know pro wrestling, and you see a guy who looks like me, and you see a guy who looks like Aramis, who are you going to cheer for if it's a Lucha Libre show? Well, the fucking mask guy, for sure, every time. So I think it's kind of knowing how to do the things I do, or the things that, quite frankly, were agreed upon from a choreography standpoint in the shittiest way possible or the best way possible to fit that name.